After years of mismanagement and living beyond one's means, it was payback time. The government had been spending more than its revenues and the country importing more than exporting. A sharp rise in crude prices, triggered by the oil shock of 1990–91, meant India was suddenly paying more for fuel while its exports to the region slowed to a trickle. India's forex reserves started depleting at a fast clip, as it was suddenly forced to pay much more for its imports. By June 1991, India had less than $1 billion foreign reserves, just about enough dollars to meet about 3 weeks of imports, even after substantial borrowing from the IMF earlier in the year. By July, when P.V. Narasimha Rao had just taken charge as Prime Minister, it looked like India would default on its international debt obligations. Anyone interacting with the country lost faith in the government to manage the huge macroeconomic imbalance of high fiscal and current account deficit and double-digit inflation. The Rao government initiated a four-pronged strategy to put the economy back on track. A large budget deficit had contributed to both double-digit inflation and high current account deficit by creating extra demand. Export subsidies were abolished and others cut. The rupee was devalued by about 20% to make exports competitive. Regulation and licensing controls on exports were eased. These reforms unshackled the industry from the licensing and inspector Raj. Measures were taken that could spur investments, ease domestic supply constraints and make industry competitive. Industrial licensing was abolished in all but 18 sensitive industries. The public sector was given more operational freedom to scale up and make bigger contributions to the economy. The thrust of the reforms was to free up the economy of controls, FDI liberalization and ease of doing same idea.